What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to get more shots in focus in dimly lit scenarios like wedding receptions, bar mitzvahs, corporate events, things of that nature. So if you're like me, one of the main reasons why you switch from a DSLR to mirrorless is the IAF. But for whatever reason, IAF doesn't like to work very well when you're in dimly lit scenarios. It jumps around, it hunts. It's just not the best option at dimly lit events. And one of the reasons for that is there's just not enough light. Originally, I already had this guy, so I started using this. I gave it to my assistant, I put it on a monopod, she stood on the edge of the dance floor, and she lit up the subjects, and I was able to lock on focus and get more keepers. However, it became a little bit of a bulky and not so perfect situation, because when my assistant was behind me and to the left or to the right and the light was hitting my subject, it worked fine. But every now and then when you're on the dance floor, my assistant would maybe be here and then I would need to turn this way, and the person was not getting lit properly. Like they were just getting lit on their ear. No, they were getting lit all right. Lit as. I found this little video light on Amazon. I can't really pronounce the name of the company, but it's one of these video lights that's about 20 bucks. And when I say I found this guy, I went through about a good 8 or 9 different other video lights, all ranging from about $13 up to about $40. Some of the like LumaCube knockoffs or whatever, and just, tried out a bunch of them to try to see which one had the best brightness and also had, was not obnoxious to look at from a couple of feet away. This wound up being the winner. So the next question is, how do you get this on the camera? Obviously, I'm not one to walk around with this all night. In a pinch, if I had to, I could, because honestly, it's super light, doesn't weigh anything. So what I did was I got this little L bracket on Amazon. It was less than 10 bucks. The cool thing I like about this was that it's got 2 cold shoes for you to add things to. So I could put the video light here, but then I could also put a radio trigger out here if I wanted to, or I could do 2 video lights. Or I could put this one on the side and put something else up here. It's really good. The only bad thing I don't like about this L bracket was that the little screw-in '20 down here that came with it was garbage, but I already had another L bracket at home, so I just took the screw or whatever you call it on the bottom here and put a new one in. So for me, this is my setup. The only difference is at a wedding or something, I'd maybe have my 24-70 G Master on here instead of this lens, but this is pretty much it, and it works awesome. Like, with this setup, I usually have the light on its lowest setting, but if I needed to, I could turn it up really high and the light would throw a little bit further. But for the most part, the lowest setting with this works phenomenally. You're usually shooting receptions or things of that nature, at a little bit higher ISO or a little bit more wide open. But the cool thing is with this, I can shoot at, f4, 5.6, and I don't have to worry about, is the camera getting enough light to focus, especially using the IAF. This setup right here, to me, for 30 bucks or less, can't be beat. So because this doesn't have a swappable battery, I just purchased 2 of them. It was cheap enough. One other thing that's kind of cool about this is this has a cold shoe on the side, on the top, and the other side. So if you wanted to, you could stack 2 of these if you wanted more light. I mean, really, you don't need to. Most of the time when I use this, it's on the lowest setting. But again, I just have 2 because it's wedding photography. You always gotta have a backup, because the last thing you wanna do is be caught out there on a job and your equipment fail. And we all know sooner or later your equipment's gonna fail. I use these for ring shots as well. Earlier in the day, I'll have my assistant just hold it above the ring to add in a little bit of sparkle for those shots. Pretty much all the time during receptions. If there were a, if there was a sparkler exit or something like that, where I need a little bit of light on the couple, but I don't want to use flash or something like that, this would be good for that as well. Put it on a monopod or something, have my assistant hold it above the couple. Like, So now, one of the things that I was concerned about initially was, would this affect my photojournalistic type coverage during receptions? You know, because I like to get photographs of people when they don't see me, dance like nobody's watching, right? So I was a little bit concerned if I'm walking around, people might see this light on and they may start acting differently and they may shy away and they may not want me to take their picture. But in reality, the opposite has happened. And the reason I think that's happened is because of cell phones. People are so used to friends taking their picture with their cell phone, with the video light on in dark situations like in the club or whatever. So when they see me walk up and I've got this light on, you know, they just keep dancing like normal, or they dance even harder because they know that they're getting their picture taken and they want to make sure it's good, or they want to show out for the camera or whatever. And for me, it's been great. And for those of you wondering, typically with the settings that I use at receptions, this light will not show up in the final photo. The flash that I'm using will, you know, wash out whatever light is coming out of this little video light, and you don't see it at all. It's mainly there just to help me focus, or to help the camera focus. Like I need help focusing too, but that's a whole nother video. The whole reason of us going from DSLRs to mirrorless is the ability to use IAF. And if you can't use it all the time, you're kind of shortchanging yourself. But this little addition makes it so much easier to be able to get shots in dimly lit scenarios. So, I mean, for 30 bucks, you can't beat this. And honestly, if you're doing wedding receptions, that's 3-4 hours of the day that you're gonna be taking photographs, and it would just stink to be able to, you know, have the perfect moment and then your camera's struggling with the focus because it's a little too dimly lit, or the DJ's got whatever going on with his lighting, and I mean, you know how that goes. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments below. Let me know if you got a setup that's similar to this, or if you've got a little hack that's even better than this. You know, I'm not opposed to trying something different. I mean, I'm just here letting you know what I do and what works for me on real life, real world paid shoots, but you know, maybe you got something better that I haven't tried yet. So leave a comment below. I'll see you at the next one. Peace. And now I've got a Sony A9 too. Oh, sorry, I wish I had a Sony A9 too. As the airplane goes by. Woman, I'm at work. I'll call you back when I get home, okay? Okay? Don't call me when I'm at work, woman. No, I'm just joking, nobody. I'm married to a Caribbean woman. I can't even really joke like that, but she don't watch my videos, so it's cool. Wagwan internet. Okay. What's going on, internet? So today,